بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم. Verse Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You are welcome to your favorite program, The Searchlight. On tonight's episode, inshallah, we shall be looking at the second part of Indecent Act. On tonight's episode, the focus will be on the elders, and inshallah it has been tagged as Elders and Their Responsibilities. Inshallah, with me in the studio is the usual guest, Malam Muhammad Allu Lukade. He will begin with the discussion now.
Alhamdulillah wahda wa salatu wa salam ala man la nabiy ba'da Sayyidina wa Maulana Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam wa ala alihi wa ala ashabihi wa man tabi'ahum bi ihsan ila yawmiddin. As we have been informed, we earlier looked into indecent acts. And when we did, we were primarily looking at the roles and the responsibilities which those of us who are young in our community are contributing towards it. Today, we want to look into the elders' roles and responsibilities. Certainly, we shall not need for this discussion to go into definitions for our use. Of course, an indecent act remains an indecent act. At the earlier program, we went through the definitions in order for us to carry us along and for each and every one of us to appreciate what we mean when we are talking of indecent acts. But today, just for us to be able to bring our mind back, we will go straight and remind us that indecent act, as far as the Prophet ﷺ is concerned, are those acts which when you to do it, you feel ashamed of yourself. The Prophet so defined it in such a way. Therefore, whatever you do, and you fear or you are afraid that people should not attribute it to you, now you wanting them to meet you in the act, certainly those acts become indecent and objectionable. It's however important that all of us should appreciate that there are a lot of acts of indecency in our environment. For us to belie it, or for us to believe or pretend that we do not have such indecent acts in our environment will be trying to deceive ourselves. And nobody actually deceives another person. We rather deceive ourselves. In order for us not to deceive ourselves, it is important that we should appreciate that certainly there are several indecent acts in this community. It ranges from examination malpractices to immorality in languages, immoralities in dressing, immoralities in behaviors, lack of respect between individuals and the elderly ones, lack of love between the elderly ones and the younger ones, several acts of corruption for which this country is labeled notorious, and several other things which include electoral malpractices, cheating, lying, child trafficking, drug abuse, alcoholism, drug dependence, cheating, driving offenses, laziness, and so on. All these form indecent acts. And Allah Ta'ala continues to remind us that it is important for us as servants of God to shun them, because if you refuse to shun them, they may consume you. Allah Ta'ala says, وَاتَّقُوا فِتْنَةً لَا تُصِيبَنَّ الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا مِنكُمْ خَاصَّةً. You should fear fitna, anarchy, or indecency. لَا تُصِيبَنَّ الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا مِنكُمْ خَاصَّةً. The repercussion of which will not only affect those who are the principal offenders, but even those who wait and watch while the offenses are being committed. It's unfortunate that the representatives of these indecent acts go to several levels of our community, and it will come to us as individuals, as communities, as elderly ones, as younger ones. All of us are involved. The irony is that the elders, who are supposed to be our mirrors, and who are supposed to alert us, and who are supposed to stand to correct the mistakes of the younger ones, are as involved in these indecent acts as the younger ones, who are equally culpable. And that is very ironical. Over these, we will want to appreciate that the roles of the elders and the involvement of the elders becomes vital. Not only when we talk of the correctional methods and the modalities which must be employed for us to tame these indecent acts, but even in the analysis of their involvement in these acts. We remember that Allah Ta'ala says, إِنَّ لَا يَأْمُرُكُمْ بِالْعَدْلِ وَالْإِحْسَانِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَأْمُرُ بِالْعَدْلِ وَالْإِحْسَانِ وَإِيتَاءِ ذِي الْقُرْبَى وَيَنْهَى عَنِ الْفَحْشَاءِ وَالْمُنكَرِ وَالْبَغْيِ يَعِظُكُمْ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَذَكَّرُونَ. For those of us who are regular at Jummah prayers, you realize that every Jummah the Imams will narrate these surahs from Surah An-Nisa, chapter 4 of the glorious Quran. Inna Allah ya'muru bil 'adli wal ihsan. Allah commands you to be just and to do good. Wa ita'i dhil qurba, and the extension of kindness to those who are your relatives, who are near unto you, and those who are even far. وَيَنْهَى عَنِ الْفَحْشَاءِ وَالْمُنكَرِ. Allah warns you. He wants you to desist عَنِ الْفَحْشَاء, from indecent acts, وَالْمُنكَرِ, and objectionable behaviors. يَعِدُكُمْ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَذَكَّرُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is warning you, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَذَكَّرُونَ. Perchance it will be of benefit to you. It's important, as I've said, to analyze how the elderly ones come to involve themselves in this indecent act. And that is why majority of the elderly ones, they are no longer in position to even correct the younger ones, because the younger ones do not see them as good examples to follow. We know that from the data that are brandished all over the world, Nigeria is recognized as one of the most corrupt countries in the world. In fact, Nigeria junkets or oscillates between the second worst and the third worst in the whole world. Of course, there have been instances when we pretend that these are not the cases. But it's obvious to all that it couldn't have been worse. For instance, in all the gamut of our existence,